Hey, Miles Beckler here, and in this video, we're going to talk more about outsourcing and hiring, and specifically, who do you need to hire in your business to help your business grow to the next level? A couple of days ago, I put out a video on outsourcing, and it was kind of an overview of the idea of outsourcing and comparing it to hiring and illustrating a few of the places you can go to hire people. But who do you want to hire is a really big question. It needs to be a very, very strategic decision for you, and it needs to be someone who's going to help you advance your business goals quickly. So the first place you're going to look at is, what are you not great at, right? So if you have no development skills, if the thought of like installing and building a WordPress site scares the heck out of you, but you're a content creation machine, you're able to write, you're able to create podcasts, you're able to create videos, you just don't know how to lay that out online, super easy. The first person you're going to need to get on your team is a developer. And specifically, I'd look for a developer who has good graphics design skills. I'm partial, personally, to the Philippines for this kind of a role. And part of that is because the language of code, whether it's HTML, PHP, that language is something that's able to be learned by people all over the world. There's no kind of like language barrier when it comes to the code. On the other side, with the graphics, as long as you're giving them the words to have within the actual kind of graphics and within the ads, etc., the art of laying out and the art of design definitely crosses language barriers. And I found in the Philippines that I'm able to find really, really talented designers and developers for the $3 to $6 per hour range. I like hiring on onlinejobs.ph, and I shoot to hire for 40 hours a week. But even if you're just wanting someone to kind of help on a very part-time as-you-go basis, you can use something like Upwork.com. You'll pay more for the same person, but you have no commitment on hours. You're able to hire them for 10 hours one week, 0 hours the next week, and 20 hours the week after that. So really, I think if you don't have any design background, if you don't have any development background, finding someone who has a development and background who can also help you out with design-based stuff is a great addition to your team. Now, if you happen to have that side of things done and you need to get the content out, you know how to build the WordPress site, you know how to build a basic funnel, and you're just wanting to get help creating the content for the niche and for the audience you've chosen, then a copywriter is someone who's potentially going to be a great asset for your team. Finding the people who have those complementary skills to what you have. You don't want to rehire yourself. The goal is not to bring on another you, because then your business isn't going to be able to kind of go in all the directions you need to go. Because there's always a content challenge, and then there's a layout challenge, and there's the design and development challenge. And you need to be able to move forward on all of these fronts at the same time. So if you're needing someone who can create content for you, I would stick with someone who's in your home country if you're in an English-speaking country. So if you're in Australia, stick with an Aussie. If you're in the United States, stick with an American. If you're from the UK, stick with a British. You can definitely overlap in these situations. I've hired British writers as an American, and it's great. There's just some slight differences, and go with what your audience is used to. Make it easy for your audience to consume your content. Now, hiring writers from foreign countries where English is a second language is kind of it's a dangerous area. I've never been able to get that to work. I know people who claim they've got that to work for them, and it works great for them. I've never been able to get that to work because there's just these nuances in the languaging that I've never felt comfortable, even in a pen name, publishing some of the content I've gotten from some of these less expensive places. For a really good writer, you're honestly looking somewhere between $15 and $45 per hour. I think the $20 to $30 an hour range is where you'll find a lot of good talent. And ultimately, you're probably looking at somewhere between $30 and $70 per blog post. And if it seems like that's a lot, it is. Indeed, it's heaps. What you might want to consider doing if you're looking for a writer is starting out with a video similar to this one, or verbally speaking out what you want them to write, and don't have them transcribe it, but have them actually kind of rework that into a written format. And that can be a way that you can save some money because you're giving them the ideas, you're able to do the research. If a writer is saying that it's going to cost $50, $60 per article, that's because they're budgeting 2-3 hours for research, 2-3 hours to write the article, and then 1 to 2 hours for kind of editing and just going back through it to make sure it's perfect. And that is how much time, it is a full-time job to create excellent blog posts on a regular basis. So ultimately with hiring, you really want to figure out what's in your DNA, right? Like, what are you good at? And then do what you're good at and hire for these other roles that you're not great at. Hire for these other things for other people to do so you can still get moving forward in those directions. If you're a great writer, that's awesome, but you're gonna need to develop, you're gonna need some web presence developed around your writing to really attract people so you get picked up by the search engines, so you have domain names and web addresses that are shareable on social media, etc. So if you're the writer, if you're a content creator, find someone who can handle the development and design side. If you're a developer or you're a designer, find someone to write your free reports for you. Find someone to write your opt-in squeeze page copy for you. If you're following the really simple affiliate marketing funnel that I've laid out on this channel, there's only 4 or 5 pages that you really need to get done along with a free report of some sort. So the amount of content you need to create isn't all that much. And you can build the whole thing out in WordPress or even in ClickFunnels, and you wouldn't even need a developer. So there's not all that much that needs to get done, but it's kind of a self-realization thing. Know yourself, know what you're good at, allow yourself to do what you're good at, and hire out those things that you're not great at. And if you don't have any money to do hiring right now, guess what? Roll up your sleeves, dig in, keep the knuckles to the grindstones, burn the midnight oil. I've been there, I've done it. It was worth every ounce. Even to this day, I still work into the night sometimes. My wife and I are taking on a kind of a redesign project right now. It's Friday evening. I'm definitely gonna be working into the night this evening. Barely was able to pull away to make this video for you. And we're gonna work all weekend when our friends are going out to play and go out to check some things out here in Thailand. But we've just gotta get this done. We're committed to our audience. And it's that kind of a commitment is why we're so successful in our business. So stay committed, figure out what you're great at, do that, hire out the other tasks that you're not great at. And if it's an English-based task, stick with someone in your home country if you're in an English-speaking country, or stick with the US, UK, or Australia. If it's code-based, if it's graphics-based, even some transcription, you can look at the Philippines for a great value. Development you can also get done in India, but I've found the attention to detail from some of the Filipino and Filipina kind of workers I found is actually fantastic. It was above and beyond what I found in India. Lastly, when you get your business going, when your list has several thousand people, you're sending out an email a day to your mailing list, and you're kind of getting the interaction, you're getting customers and you need support, quickly hire a customer support representative. Probably the best hire that my wife and I have brought on was our customer support representative. She's based in the Philippines as well. She manages all kinds of other projects for us on top of it, but to not have to go into the tickets and not have to reply to the customers who reply to our mails every day has saved literally dozens and dozens of hours a week that we're able to put back into those tasks of which we're really good at and those tasks that create kind of revenue in our business. Your goal as an entrepreneur is to make money, so make sure the team is moving forward in all directions, but you are really maintaining and working on what you're great at, because that's how you're going to see the fastest growth in your online business. I'm Miles Beckler. Thank you very much for watching. Go ahead and click the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you have any questions about this, I'd be happy to answer it. Have a brilliant day.